Hey there. So what I'm going to do is show you a quick demo of the version 13 beta 2 SQL plugin. Now, I had to follow a little bit of the same documentation for version 12 because we don't have the docs made yet. But let's start first looking at the SQL database here. I've got quite a few databases, the Boreum Blast, and then way down, I got Carbon Crunch, Silicon Flow, Silicon Lift. You may or not figure out my way to make test databases and element and a verb. Let's just take Boreum Blast here. I have a table called Airflow Service, just sample data here. And let's just make sure we got the data. So we have 1,000 rows of it, cool beans. And then when it comes to the SQL backup, let me show you what we've done. So first of all, and I tested to make sure it works, so it's good. I'm going to run the configure plugin. So the first thing I want to show is when I do these backups to Veeam backup and replication, I just want to show you what I'm working with. So that's the Veeam server. I could put a DNS name. It's quite the password here. Yep. Sorry, I don't care. It's a lab. And what I just wanted to this is what I came here for, to show you that it is going to S3 compatible, immutable on the Veeam server, which if I go over here, the Veeam server backup infrastructure has just one object storage. Well, this one's immutable too, but everything is going to go here. So let's go back to the database. So I've configured the plugin. Now I have made a schedule, so I'm going to delete that just because I was playing with this earlier. So you'll see here there's a SQL agent server job that actually is the immutable backup. Let's just destroy that. Okay, and I'll remake that, just kind of covering my steps. But basically this is a naked SQL server. I'm going to go and do a backup database. So I'm going to run this as admin. And if sounds like the client has used the plugin before, so this will be good. So let's take Boreum Blast. Let's take a few. Let's go down here. Take those two. But Boreum Blast 1 is the one of interest here. So I think let's do Veeam SQL BSA beta 2 immutable. That's the name of my set. That's descriptive enough, so I'm going to do it that way. Next, let's go with 7 days. Now, this is a good one. So most like DBAs are going to hit that. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, now I'm going to come back and put it on a schedule here in a second. So let's go ahead and run the backup. So it's going to activate now. I'm going to go back over to the SQL Server agent jobs, and you'll see there's only the default one, but if I refresh it, I've got this one. I'm going to go to properties, and I'm going to put a schedule in, and let's just keep it consistent. Daily occurs let's go 4 hours. Okay, simple example here. So as I let this go, it will run every 4 hours. Let's check on the first one. So the handful of databases, they're small. You get the point here, but done. Cool. Let's go over in Veeam Backup and Replication and check that out. If I go home, if I go to backups on object storage, I should have several here from Microsoft SQL from this database server. Now I've had several jobs come in, so let's actually, do I get any more information on that? Not really, because it's managed by SQL. So, but I have them under management, and just to highlight the capabilities here, I can't delete it. So I hit the delete button, take it away from disk. Probably is going to tell me no. Better tell me no. This makes sense. Make sure here. Okay, let's give it a try. I kind of don't like things not working, but in this case, I don't want it to work. Good, because it's marked as immutable until 1st of September 2025. Cools. All right. So it's on object storage managed by Veeam from that SQL plugin. So let's break something over here. Let me drop the table. Let's just do that. So I'm going to drop the table And so Boreum Blast 1, the first of those databases, this query should be boogered up. It is. So now I'm going to minimize this and let's do restore. And I'm going to run as admin. Okay. Now, if I had multiple SQL servers, it would find them all, but this particular one or instances. And I can do this programmatically as well. I just am not, good at that. So I'm going to pick Boreum Blast 1. You see all of them are there. Now, Boreum Blast 1, 10, and 100, I have several other backups on, but the last 4, I only have 1. So for example, if I go here, I'll only have 1 restore point, just because I was playing around with it before I got to this point. You'll see there's only 1 restore point. Just telling you the history. It took me 2 tries to get it right, but I figured out just little things. All right, I'm going to take the most recent backup, which is, at my time here about 3 minutes ago. And then I'm not doing logs, but that logic is generally unchanged. There's a new thing about incremental restore, which is cool. And then it's going to ask me which instance, which the only one is prod. Now, I actually could type in a new database name, or I could just write over what I've got. This is, YOLO. You only live once. Let's do it. And so basically, you'll see this. Remember, this table, this query failed. And actually, it's going to rebuild the whole database. There's other ways you can restore just that table if you wanted to as well. But let's see here. Underway. Yep, it says it's done. It is a small 8 meg. Okay, so you understand demo. But boom, we're back. So hopefully that's a quick tour of this capability. It does go to object storage. Hopefully that's what is asked for. If you want any more, just get with Brittany and the team, and we'll get into it.